What's up, everyone? This is Robert with Proper Hip Hop. Thank you for joining me on this What Is Tune In Tuesday, where I am rocking the Space Jam shirt. I was born in '91. This is one of my favorite movies, so I figured what better time to sport it. But today, Tune In Tuesdays for y'all. So instead of going down that rabbit trail, though, we're going to dive right in, and we're going to be answering the question today: what is predestination? So I'll just give a little bit of a buffer. This can be a really big hang-up for a lot of people, but I find this to be consistent through the entirety of Scripture from Genesis to Revelation. So we're going to dive right in. Predestination is the eternal decree of God, where God chooses from the beginning, before the foundation of the world, as Paul would say in Ephesians 1, and according to His good and right purpose and His pleasure, not being swayed or not being influenced by anyone or anything, but choosing and deciding what would become of each individual person in regards to the salvation of His saints or the damnation of God's reprobates. The doctrine of predestination is rooted in the sovereignty of God. That God does what God does because He is God, and it is for our good and His glory. And this honestly should not drive us to frustration or anger or anything like that. It should really drive us to worship, because we see the great distance that God goes to save those who do not deserve grace. It is ill-deserved grace. We have done everything not to earn it, but He predestines His saints and goes the distance by sending His Son to die a sinner's death, even though He Himself was sinless, taking the full wrath of God, the wrath of God that we should be receiving, and saves us and restores us to the Father. And so this really should create in us a heart of worship and praise to just how magnificent and how gracious God is. So that actually concludes our times with this What is Predestination video. My prayer is that it does guide you to a praise and worship of God for just how awesome He is in saving sinners who do not deserve grace, do not increase favor for them being chosen, but He has predestined and set His affection towards us. And so with that said, I do want to say I apologize a little bit. My previous videos have been a bit longer than what I intended them to be, but these next 9 to 10 are going to be pretty short and sweet, as we actually walk through a mini-series inside this series on the order of salvation. This one being the first video of that series, What is Predestination? So join me next week, though, as we go into the second video on the question, what is election? Thank you so much for joining me, Robert, with Proper Hip Hop, and I look forward to seeing you next time.